Sometimes when folks pass away, you hear about their estate. So what does an estate include? How can it be used? George Swartz of Mooney and Associates is here to explain what an estate entails. I get very confused by all of this personally. What does it mean? What is an estate?
Well, an estate is a legal entity that's created to handle the financial affairs of someone who's recently passed away. So it pays all of their debts, collects all of their assets, and then it distributes pursuant to either a will, or if there isn't a will, there's another way that it's handled.
Is it something that you set up before you pass away, or something that's set up once you pass away?
Preferably, you would you would plan for your passing with what's called a will, but the estate itself is not able to be opened until someone passes away.
Okay. I'm sure the will is very, very helpful in planning an estate. If somebody, though, doesn't have a will, what does that mean?
Well, the will is helpful in planning, mainly because if you don't have a will, then the PA legislators have decided what would happen to your assets, and they would decide who would get what. But a will allows you to decide where your assets would go,
okay.
Be that to family members or to other entities.
Just before we started, did I say something to you like, I don't think it's fair, some of the taxes that are involved here? Tell us about the taxes that come into play.
Well, you had commented that it doesn't seem right that you would pay taxes on something that you've earned and then have to pay those taxes again. And that's a common perception. The taxes involved with an estate are actually paid by the estate and out of the estate in most circumstances. The tax rates that are involved are depending on, for a vast majority of people in Pennsylvania, are variable depending on who's getting the bequest. So for a spouse, it's 0. For lineal transfers going up and down a line to parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, that's 4.5%. Siblings is 12%. Everyone else is 15%. So that's a pretty big chunk. And then it's 0 for charitable organizations.
Now, of course, you're an attorney. You're here representing Mooney and Associates. Why do I need you?
Well,
before or after my death? I mean, why is an attorney involved?
Before, it's really to set up the last will and testament so that your assets can be transferred to whom you want to receive those assets upon your passing. After, it's for the handling of the estate itself, which is a very complex process. It involves gathering assets, figuring out debts, whether those debts are valid or not, and then paying the debts with those assets, and then distributing the assets. There's a lot of work that's done that involves providing notice to people and doing important filings, and also paying the taxes.
Very good. Yes, I can see why I need an attorney, because it is, like you said, there's so much involved. It can be very complex. You're an expert in that, so that's why we give you a call. Again, we'll talk more about those taxes after the show, okay, because I still have a problem with that. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you, everybody at home, for being with us today. We always appreciate when you're watching. Make it a good day, PA.